Hi guys, we are here back on the recaps. This is the second time I'm filming this recap because I didn't like the light in the previous one. So let's go and see my first recap in the Sligo Chess Tournament. Let's go and watch it. So guys, I just won the third game. Already the third round, sorry. Round number 3 today. I haven't filmed the other ones yet because, long story short, I arrived yesterday at 6:30 p.m. 6:30. The game started at 7 p.m. and I arrived at 6:30, but I left my house at 7 a.m. So I almost had a 12-hour trip between a train and then the flight and then a road trip, and then I arrived at the hotel and then my room was a mess, but that's a story for another video. Anyways, I'm gonna show you my game of this afternoon. First of all, I want to thank to you all because I've been reading the comments, not all because I'm not going to watch my 3 hours game on YouTube, but I was like skipping parts and I was watching your comments. I really appreciate it, guys. You are so generous with the comments. They really motivate me and they makes me feel really good. So really, you have no idea like how much a comment or some words can change the day of a person. Especially because before this round, and I'm gonna be very honest with you, I was literally feeling that I was playing bullshit, and after this round I was going to call my coach and I was going to tell him that I'm not progressing anymore and that I don't know how to play chess anymore and that I only win because I have sort of luck. But those feelings are already gone. So thank you guys for your comments, and let's see the game. Like, I didn't prep anything this morning. I had a preparation, I'm sorry, with my opponent in advance if he watches it, but I prepped against him. And well, today's game was like this, and it became into a Bogo Indian. As you can see, it started as an English opening, but it turned into Bogo Indian, and then well, he came with a knight with the bishop g5 line, which is not my cup of tea, to be honest. What I mean is that I'm not well prepared against it, so I started thinking very early in the game, and that's something I don't like. But well, I have to do it, and actually I'm going to use this game as an example for all my students to encourage them to think in the opening, especially to kids. I always tell them, like, there is nothing wrong if you have to think in the opening. Like, nobody's gonna tell you that you are worse or that you are bad prepared, or you are not gonna earn more elo if you play faster in the opening. Like, the game is only measured with their final result. So I started thinking a lot, and well, I just tried to create a comfort zone game. So I came with bishop e7 and I was going to do something like this, very slow, and I was going to convert it into a Philidor. So, well, I did that, but then he came with e4. So here, first tactics that can happen is between this contact. But right now it doesn't work, because if I do that, he'll take my bishop, I'll take the knight, he'll take my queen, I'll take the queen, he'll take my pawn, and when it seems that I retake the pawn and I'm escaping, he'll attack my rook, and then when I move my rook, he'll trap my knight like this. So that's something I didn't want to face, of course. I noticed it, but I knew that the threat was up in the air. Now I played d6 and he plays bishop d3, and that's a mistake because now I can do the tactics. Why can I do it right now? By the way, that's a brilliant move, but I can do it right now because at the end, now I'm threatening the bishop. In the other line, the bishop was still on f1, and I'm not threatening anything, and he can just come here and attack my rook, and then he can trap my knight. But now he needs to take care of the bishop, and that's a very important tempo that makes this line to work, and that makes the knight e4 a brilliant move. So already black's advantage, like a slight advantage, of course. But then I just gave up the pawn, and I don't know why. Like, I was trying to remember, but I think that some of these unreasonable fears came to my mind into the game. So I developed my knight because I felt like I was lacking on development, and it wasn't the best decision because I felt like really restricted. But I made like a huge sequence of the best moves in the game, which helped me to get the win. and especially here. Here, he had many options, but I think the best for him was just to move the king out and connect the rooks, because so far his rook on h1 seems that it's not gonna work. His king hasn't made a big deal in the whole game, and that's a huge point, because we've been in an endgame during the whole game almost. So the thing is that I was considering a move that was rook c4 and seems annoying for my knight. So while he was thinking what to do, I was thinking what to do against what he was going to do. And I thought about exchanging the rook for the bishop, but of course it wasn't something that would have worked. But as soon as he moved, I noticed another candidate move, which is knight b6. And why knight b6? You can say like you are hanging your knight, but if he takes, I'll take the bishop, and when he takes my pawn, I retake, and he can't protect a4. The only way is this, and apart from rook a6 that would be enough to get the pawn for free, I have the brilliant b5, and he can't take because then I skewer him at the top of the board like this. So that's why he didn't take my knight, he didn't accept my gift, and he came like this. And then my knight got really active and is the hero on this game. I got this pawn for free, and then guys, another critical moment in my game. Here I can take another pawn, my second pawn, for free. But I fought for a second and I was debating between this move and this one. Why? Because this knight c2 guarantees me that I'll take the bishop and more. Like more weaknesses, more things happening. But how I realized that it wasn't the best for it, because then these pawns are doubled. So of course all pawns are pawns and they worth it, but the other position was going to guarantee me that the game was going to be for me. What I mean is that his bishop was the only piece that could somehow try to fight for a draw, but if I get rid of his bishop, look how many islands he has, 4 islands of pawns, all his pawns are isolated. So I did that, he came here, I took, and then my rooks started to kill him. So here guys, I could have just come and go behind the pawn, but I saw checkmate patterns and his only escape square is this, so I found the e5 move, which was pretty good. And he came king h3 and I went with rook f1. Why didn't I go with rook h1? Because the king h3 allows him to go rook g2 and blocks. So we need to be precise guys, even though the bar is still in our favor, it's way better to keep the bar as black as it can be. So rook there, and then he pushed f4, and here I found the second brilliant move of the game. Chess.com doesn't recognize it as a brilliant, I'm gonna complain about it, but f5. You can ask me like, why is it brilliant? Because, for example, if he comes to g2, I check him, he blocks, I go and I take h2 with a checkmate. If he comes to g3, I straight to f2 and I come h2 with a checkmate. If he goes g6, same thing. Check, and then he blocks, and then I come h2 with a checkmate. And if he comes to the other file, I checkmate him in a next move. Here he didn't even move because he lost by time. But yeah, that was going to be the future of the game if he would have moved. Look at the accuracy in this game, like 95.6 chess.com says, and literally I felt like I played awful. I was expecting the worst in the chess.com feedback, but no, it seems that it was actually great, and I'm happy with my game. I'm happy with my performance today. I won both of the games today, so I promise you I'll be uploading the pending recaps soon, and also the upcoming ones, 2 rounds left, 4 and 5 tomorrow. And guys, thank you all for the support. Like, subscribe and comment. Don't forget, especially subscribe if you haven't done it yet and if you're enjoying my recap. And I'll see you soon guys. Bye bye.